Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. I love this meme. I don't know who did this meme, but I found it on our brother Unmute Me 2.0. This is so good. This is the OceanGate craft submersible called Titan. And what's that got to do with Brother Big Pokey? I don't know the details about Big Pokey's life, but I'm just, everybody who's black who just suddenly, everybody who dies who's black. Until I find out different, I'm going to call you brother, I'm going to call you sister. And in the meantime, all of us are connected because this is a targeted genocide at Black us that was expected to work. And that's why that's connected to these 5 dudes right here who are... They died. They were stupid. We make such a vast error giving these people just credit for a brilliance that they literally do not have. OceanGate's submersible tourism industry, they have been sued by those who were just really upset. They've been investigated for all kinds of, structural negligence on their part. Yet these rich idiots are so bored. They're so monotonously bored. They have no meaning for their lives. What kind of power, what kind of freedom is that, where your ability to be of service to the planet, to regular citizens, is truncated by the satanic elite so that none of these dudes are saying anything publicly about what's really affecting this world. And they need to reignite their interest in remaining alive. So they go on these stupid, friggin' rich bored man tours all over the place, including, they don't go into outer space. Ain't none of them ever going to the moon or anything, but jumping off of mountains and just hot air balloon rides that costs like $100,000 per minute or something, or $1,000 per minute. I don't know. Branson is just, oh my goodness. And this one, it's really, this is what you are going to waste your money on. This is when you are owned. You're not free. And so, let me repeat, what's this got to do with Big Pokey? It's all connected. It's all connected. And so this is the state of mind that these folks want us to remain in, so we don't notice the horror and the demise. This was so horrifying. I watched the video and brother just went down. Historically, everything I've read, and I've read books and books and books about radiological contamination, man-made radiological contamination. This is something that just happens. I had highlighted a quote from Yoshi Shimatsu. I heard from a friend that it is not reported in the press about the frequency of commuters just collapsing and dying on the tracks in Tokyo, just falling over, dropping dead on the platform. This is really astounding. Very much like the birds. We may start to see mass die-offs of humans. This was a quote from 2016, long before the whole jabberunadini thingy-them, that every death now is blamed on that, when Fukushima fallout is never even mentioned. I have beautiful people coming up to me telling me the die-off is due even to HARP. Let's explain about HARP, which is also the same just misunderstanding as when people blame the die-off of whales now on coming from the Atlantic Ocean, but there have been whales dying on the Atlantic shortly after they were dying in California because the radiation goes everywhere. And there's already been radiation from every single source, nuclear there is. It was all starting in California. Number of starving sea lions in California, unprecedented. You mean to tell me they just like chose the Pacific Ocean to, emit these HAARP rays? No, they didn't. What happened in the Pacific? It's like, come on. And I'm not mad at you, beloved, if you understand. There's folks who do listen to me who just discernment is not such an easy calculation, and I recognize, and I'm not mad at people for that, but I've been alive a long time, so I know there are people out there who you go by what is the popular doctrine of the day. You don't think outside of that narrative. How is it possible? All the facts I've brought, all that die-off that began in the Pacific Ocean, how's it possible that is going on? And they never, ever mentioned Fukushima as a cause. The scientists said, we're baffled, we're puzzled, we don't know what's going on. And it's not Fukushima, all right? And they're sending Fukushima food. They're peddling, even in Essence magazine, CMOS. And it's not the radiation. So here, number of starving sea lions in California, unprecedented. Why are so many whales dying on California beaches? Are the ills of the Arctic hitting California? Hundreds of migratory seabirds wash ashore. It's not just hundreds. By now, this is a recent article from just last year. There's been millions. As a matter of fact,
and I'm just going to document it in real time while we're doing it, in the hopes the world will come to its senses. And so really, when you're in the biggest migratory route, there's no flocks of birds, period, nothing. And there's no groups of birds, there's no birds feeding, there's nothing to get your attention. And so it's very, very, very spooky, I think is a way you can put it. And because I have great visibility, it's even more shocking when you can't find nothing, right? Because I've been at this for a very long time. I grew up on the ocean. If I can't spot it, then that's pretty bad. Very, very bad if I can't spot something.
So kudos to Dana Durnford, who is out. I think this is again in British Columbia. He does these researching expeditions to just make account of the life that's there. And I don't like Dana. Dana doesn't like me. He doesn't like black people because he doesn't want us to be free. Okay? But at the same time, the only place anybody could be free is on this one planet. So I give him kudos for what he does. I know what I want to do, and I'll get to that at the end, but I'm just saying, there's not a single bird. Later on, he shows like 1, 2 seagulls, and he mentions that they're flying high up. They're not down in the water looking for food because ain't no damn food there for them. And this is one of the most life-abundant places on the planet, and it's dead. So understand, these rich people are employees of the satanic elites. They're not independent. You know how they have been saying that, rich people, they have no concept of nationhood because they think of the whole planet as theirs. They just go jet setting here and there. Well, the same thing when it comes to wealth. They have given us an artificial definition of what wealth is, as if it's some sort of power, as if it's something to envy, as if it's something more than what these people are, which is robots, slaves who do exactly what they're told to do. It's not an accident that you have Gabrielle Union, and I can't even remember the other chick's name because I don't pay attention to these people, walking around butt naked. It's actually even less distracting if you just see somebody who's just naked. They walk, Gabrielle, I didn't want to show the photos of the actress on the right who's got literally like tape over her nipples that you could clearly see underneath the sheer blouse she's wearing. And Gabrielle, you could see the top of her behind that I don't want to see, and the bottom of her behind. And she's standing on the red carpet, turning around like it's some great thing. The woman who destroyed a black boy by giving him lunacy she ain't nothing but a slave, right? And so are these dudes. That's what it's got to do with Big Pokey. Years ago, and I didn't capture this, I saw a YouTube video of a young Spanish girl, young lady, who was giving a witness to having gone to a seminar hosted by really, really rich white males. And it was about how to, buy real estate, flip it, and make some money. She said towards the end of the seminar, they suddenly stopped what they were instructing everyone about and just said, we've got something to tell you. Get prepared because something's coming. And that's what all us rich dudes, we are working together to get it done. And I'm just telling you because you need to know. I guess that if on that rich man's part who was saying it was some sort of a charitable thing. All right. This video I watched was after Fukushima and years before the Jabberunadini. All right. That everybody wants to blame our unprecedented die-off. As Yoshi Shimatsu said, it's going to happen back in 2016. That was before all of that. And so when I see how much of it didn't work. It didn't work. They wanted to work. They had it. They had Russian doctors felling, because it was done to them out of high windows in the hospital. Who does that? Have you heard any such of the like again? No, because those Russian doctors wanted to tell the truth, like Yuri Bandashevsky. Yeah, they put him in prison along with Andrei Sakharov. Nesterenko, they didn't put him in prison, but they sure impoverished him. Right? I know this stuff because I read it. And they were trying to tell the truth about Chernobyl. Well, those dudes are probably trying to tell the truth about the, the thing that they suddenly entered an unprecedented censorship. You would think we live in Japan, and it's the Secrecy Act going on over here. Right? It didn't work the way that the elites wanted it to, because they want a global government so they can control us even more. Right? And so when I see them, I don't know if this was organic. As I looked up the history of OceanGate, these people were being sued by even their mamas for just structural negligence on their part. And this one vessel was going out multiple times in an ocean that the IAEA shows is just absolutely bristling with radiation. That causes the Wigner effect, not just on airplanes, but on anything. Ask the whales. And now they dead. Nobody warned them. But that's not my point, because I'm not here to cry over these dudes. I don't wish harm to anybody, but I ain't here to cry over them, okay? Because they don't give a damn. They only care about money. That's why they go on these stupid things, because they find out after they get all that damn money that they can't do anything with it. They can't be any more than Gabrielle Union and the other chick walking around half naked because they ain't nothing but employees. Right? And so they go on all these thrill tours, echo space tours, because life has lost its meaning for them. However, nobody is warning them when all their airplanes, their little private planes go crashing down. Nobody's warning them. However, I find it interesting that in this article about dead men, 5 dead white billionaires, they got this advertisement. What? This is not accidental. That they would put this where 5, I don't remember how many children it is. I think it's 5. Survive. I'm so glad for them. It's weird as heck. I can't wait to find out how they managed to do that, because there was a baby there too. But what message are they sending out right now to all rich employees about what's coming to them? Maybe I don't wish it to them either. I surely can have a conversation with anybody. I don't need to hurt anybody. Okay? But Satan, as our sister Lashifa, you said, I don't mind crediting those who bring a new way of thinking to me. She said that with Satan, they still require human sacrifices. And they have been sending out the warning to all rich people with the statue in Jersey City. And then they had the Ukraine soldiers putting their finger to their lips going, hush, hush, hush. I mean, they know these guys have failed. Right? I'm just saying, I don't, World War II, okay? There's a reason why it's called the sacrifice and it's not called the slaughter. Okay? So I want you to know I'm consistent. I ain't changed. This is a page I run on Facebook, Asiatic Black Family Health. I don't post to it anymore because I only have but so much time. But this is from June 8, 2015. The beaches are full of dead babies off California, many aborted fetuses. There's a lot of death. Scent of rotting sea lion along coast, bags filled with animals, bodies overflowing carts, and left on ground. That was in E&E News. They got rid of E&E News. But you can still find these articles if you know how to look for them. If you don't know how to look for them, the propaganda is all you're going to get. It's so that you believe it's the HAARP or it's the Wi-Fi. And here's the proof. This is a photo that was taken back in 2015. Right? So, what? We gotta think better, trust each other more, because the devil depends on our fear. He depends on our chaos. That's why he's trying to talk everybody into losing a gasket, going out, having orgies in the street. That's coming. Just being absolute degenerates, because then he gets to keep on doing this, sending radiation to our food, and we don't know what the hell's going on. On top of them having made us believe that they're just like magically brilliant, like, natives having white people come on to their property, their land, and taking their photographs, and you see the natives see the picture and they're like, oh my goodness, they stole my soul. On top of that, these dudes have believed since, I don't know, the days of the caves, but just in perpetuity, that it is we original black people who are the idiots, and that we would never be able to see through their BS. That's pretty damn idiotic, if you ask me. Because even the Most High told them, you ain't gonna get away with this. However, if you keep believing these people in terms of our ability to save ourselves, then they have stolen our souls, because the Creator didn't make us to believe that some devils are going to be the winners. No. If you submit to Him, and you do so not just in your prayers, but in your deeds, ain't nobody gonna stop you. And certainly not some damn radiation, if you realize you're supposed to save yourself in your deeds. This is a bad Photoshop I put together, but it's all to make a point. This is a lab in Japan run by Japanese housewives, okay? All the years I have been putting that work in for you so that you could get cures. Now, you could go get my book off a 25,000 year cycle, and it has well over 100 remedies for what is just causing so much damage. I've lost words for it, right? Because this right here, I've gotten to understand on a subatomic level the dynamics of radiation. That's what nuclear physicists learn. I've learned it independently just because I love you like that. You think I'm not going to get this equipment and become a complete precision expert at using each and every single part of it? Hell yeah, I'm going to do that. But I need your help. I know some of us, we are uncomfortable with reading. Even though if you go to Amazon and read the reviews from verified purchases, all right? These people will just put in bad reviews and they won't purchase the book. They did the same thing after I left the review and said I left the review for The Crime of Chernobyl. I had given it 5 stars and I left a written review of it. And then, somebody came right on in and put a 1-star review on the sucker. Never bought it. But that's what they do because it's about the radiation. So I know some of us, we're like, okay, but you need that book in your house. Because if anything happens, and I don't wish that for you, there's things in there to assist you back to health. Okay? Go buy the soap then. Go buy the soap. It's that simple. We don't have to be this dude. If we do not separate from a confidence that they know everything about everything, and if they're not talking about it, it can't be real, then we are just as stuck to their lunacy as any Procyon loader out there. Right? I'm not saying it's, like you don't have to buy my stuff and you're not an absolutely amazing pro-black fighter. Yes, you are. That's not what it's about. But if we are not working on curing this radiological catastrophe, if you saw a Procyon loader coming at you after the sorrowful die-off that is just scientifically bound to happen, you will be hugging him like this. And ain't that a damn shame? I love your family. Straight black family pride. And we are forever. Peace and blessings.